More families turning to home equity loans and credit cards to help pay for college. AnnaMaria Andriotis from Smart Money is here to tell us whether this is a good idea. The numbers show, despite the fact that you might flinch at that maybe it is.
It might be a good idea, that's true. So what's happening is, despite the fact that we are in a low rate environment, you can get mortgages for 3%, the student loan rates have not come down. In fact, right now, federal student loan rates are up to almost 8% in some cases, and you have private student loans that can run up to 16%. I mean, these are really high rates. There are exceptions in some cases, sure, but for parents looking to fill in the gaps, it turns out that a lot of other consumer loans are more affordable.
And you also, there's the whole issue of whether the debt can be wiped out. Believe with some of the student loans, it lives with you forever, but if you declare personal bankruptcy with some of these other loans, you could be forgiven that debt, right?
Yeah, this is a big problem with student loans, both federal and private loans. In most cases, you cannot get rid of them even if you file for bankruptcy. That's not the case with any other consumer loan. As we all know, if you lose your home and you have a mortgage, nobody wants to be in that situation,
right.
But that debt is wiped out. Credit card debt can also be wiped out in personal bankruptcy. Student loans are the big exception that cannot be wiped out. So increasingly, parents are looking at these alternatives and saying, you know what, if I can get a loan with a lower rate that has more consumer protections, why would I want to go with a federal student loan or with a private student loan?
And one of the reasons that they're having to look at these options is just we always hear about the skyrocketing cost of tuition now, but some of these numbers, let's just lay them out there for us, because they always shock me.
Sure. So if we take into account tuition, fees, room and board, the average cost of private universities is about $38,000 right now. At public in-state colleges, it's about $17,000. These have been rising. Over the past 5 years, they've risen between 14 and 20%.
Right.
Meanwhile, the average U.S. household income has dropped over this period. So you have this, really horrible situation where college costs continue to rise, and parents are looking for ways to fill in the gaps. Ideally, you want to be able to use, the scholarships, the grants,
right.
Your savings, but it can only go so far. So that this is where we're seeing families turning to lower cost alternatives, where they're saying, okay, if I have to get a loan, what's the cheapest loan I can get?
And perhaps the one with the least risk. All right, AnnaMaria Andriotis, more on smartmoney.com. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.